does happen, all right? So when I say that, there'll be times where we're like, some person saw it like this, and then they stand up like this, all right? If this person's here, I'm probably not going to step through on it, right? But if they're sitting here and they stand up off side, they can't jam me out, and I'm going to step through immediately and do a traditional osoto gari, all right? The problem is that doesn't happen super often, all right? Because of that, there is a better way to attack this and not get countered, okay? So what's the problem with the traditional osoto gari? Is the fact that when anyone rushes in this big step, the other guy almost always does what? Boom, he jams. He doesn't want you to come forward, all right? He tries to stop you from coming forward. And since we have a tendency to push our hips through for this sweep, what happens way too much, and I guarantee you've all seen it, is I come in, he jams me, and I go, damn it, right? I hate that, all right? It sucks because I lose. So, how do we change that, all right? So what we're going to do instead is I'm going to show you how to do a cross-body osoto gari, and then I'm going to do it off of a back step. I will show it to you. You don't have to back step to get it. If you're in the right position, back step will get it for you from the normal position though, and that's why it's so strong, okay? So, what's a back step to osoto gari? All right, so instead of, we're gonna start with his leg forward. His right leg does need to be forward for this. I will show you tricks to get it forward in just a second. Or his left leg if I'm going to the left. Like obviously, if I'm ambidextrous, I can throw either way, whatever, all right? So, I want to osoto gari him, but he keeps jamming me out, all right? So, instead of coming in on this straight line where this jam matters, oh, and I can't get there, I'm going to change the angle, and we're going to go that way, all right? The reason that it's so important is this is the post that stops me, right? But this post stops me from going this way. It does not stop me from going that way. It just helps me turn, all right? So, the key to this, heavy head control or body control, all right? I have to be strong on this head. Most of the time, the way I'm going to do this, if I have a sword, I'm going to hook it behind the head, and then I'm going to push my elbow in across my body, all right? This is to make sure that I keep his body in front of me when I do this, all right? Otherwise, there's a tendency for people to go like this and then try to fight from here with your shoulder back. One, it's really uncomfortable, and two, you're weak that way, all right? So, start heavy head control, all right? Back step osoto gari, because I'm basically going to back step my back foot kind of to the heel area of my front foot, all right? So, I'm going to step up here, and then I'm going to put all of my weight on this foot. So, I'm going to go back, all right? At this point, I am now going to attack this leg. We're going to go that way. The most important part here, like at this point, doing everything I can to pull myself into him, and I'm doing everything I can to force his head over that leg, all right? So, doing this kind of slow, I'm going to be here, I go back step and hook, and then I force this head over, all right? This is probably the hardest part for people to learn, is this motion right here, is when I back step, going like this, because I'm trying to get this elbow in front of me so that I'm pushing with my bone rather than pushing with my muscle, all right? So having this hook over, however it is, and then bringing my elbow in, this is where most people fail on this, all right? Just a little bit of an awkward moment.
Not touching his chest, right? You
No.
touch, no.
So you see, a lot of times, if it's no gear, I will actively try to push it in to his cross-side shoulder. So I will try to hit right here because it actually gives me better push because I'm pushing in there. In gear, I don't worry about that as much. I may get stuck there anyway, but I have a little bit less feel. I'm just trying to pull it tight. If it sticks there, it sticks there. All right? Final thing is this osoto gari, unlike the other one. The other one, if I hit it strong, boom, the person's down. They are not going to go down from me hitting this osoto gari. They're going to go down from me finishing this osoto gari. all right? So I come here, boom, I back step and I hit. At this point, I have to start driving, and as I'm driving, it can be hard to tell, I'm trying to pull myself in with this leg, and I'm trying to push head over here. So I'm doing this twisting motion while kind of hopping on one leg, all right? It is a little complicated. Once you kind of get a feel for your balance, it becomes very easy. In the beginning, the hardest part is generally learning to balance on one leg and hop while I'm wrestling this person. Helpful note, lean into him some, right? If I balance perfectly, then I add him pushing me, I'm going to fall, right? I have to, boom, here, if he was to let go, I'm very far forward, right? I think I've hit everything that I want to say. Last thing I normally say is try to get shoulder forward. With almost all osoto garis and boo-hurt, it is better to have shoulder forward, and I'll even talk sometimes about hitting with the top of your shoulder like it's a tackle, because it guarantees you don't get countered. I guess we did head control, body control, that'll be the last one, just so you can see that, and then we're going to go into this. So body control, very important for me. I hit almost like I'm tackling, all right? He's a big, strong boy, all right? If I stay up high with my chest, it's very hard for me to move him, all right? So I want to be here, so when I step across, I can really drive, all right? I know this was a little more complicated. Are there any questions before we go into it? We'll break this down. This is probably the most complicated thing that we'll teach. I do think it is fairly easy once you find your balance point, though. It's just that initial back step hook gets awkward until you learn where you're sitting, your body position. I think it's pretty easy.
One of the things that I want to add, since I've been coming here to Warlords, like I've been learning this stuff from Brett. We take this home in almost every single one of our practices. We touch on one piece of these, like every single practice, because these take a lot of reps to get. You're not just going to naturally instantly learn it. It's a lot of reps, a lot of reps, a lot of practice. So the more you can practice these at home, just even with one other person, just do a lot of reps. It's gonna make the efficiency of how to learn this stuff way faster.
Hey Brett.
Yes.
Can you show the underhook again?
Yes, so if I go underhook, boom, we're fighting like this. I normally try to get, like I said, as much as I can, I'm actually trying to get like the top of my shoulder on him.
Okay.
It's not ever actually the top of my shoulder. It's like this area, but in my head, I'm thinking like, I want head down, drive forward. So when I'm here, again, it's the same back step, but I'm gonna drive across a little bit more. Just going and hit like that. All right? That one, maybe even more than the first one, it's so important to stay lean forward. Because you're so tight, it's very like the natural want is to go like, and push my hips through to make it there, all right? Very important to stay, boom, real tight so that when I hit like this, my head is always staying forward.
Can you envision how you're incorporating the elbow again?
When I'm pushing it, so when I have head control, what?
I was just saying it's from head control now.
Yep, so this is specifically from head control. I'm going to try to drive him this way, and part of the way I do this, I want to make sure I don't leave my arm behind me, because this gets really weak. So part of the way I make this strong is when I'm